Hello and welcome to another video with me, Christian Rauchenwald. Now in today's video we are going to look into allegations that Pi Network would actually just be a scam to make money for the founders by showing you advertising on the mobile app, and or that it would be a scam that's just trying to sell your data. Now the reason why we're talking about this specifically today is because I noticed here and there a few posts on the Pi Network subreddit that make those allegations, and my conclusion is, or I'm quite certain, that if there are a few people that are willing to voice their concerns, there are even more people that have the same concerns but don't speak out. So I wanted to make a video to provide all the answers and basically help you figure out if Pi is a scam that just tries to make money with your ads, or if it's legit, or if they're selling your data, and so on. So stay tuned, we're going to answer both those questions throughout the video, so make sure to watch it till the end so you actually get the full picture. But before we jump into the first allegation that Pi Network would actually be just an elaborate scam to get users to install the app, and then users watch advertising on the app and the founders get paid for the advertising, I want to remind you that during my initial Pi Network review, I pointed out it's hard to tell if it's legit or if it's a scam. We will see over time, but there is actually nothing to lose besides a few seconds of your time. And with that said, let's look at the first allegation. Pi Network is just a scam to make the founders rich by showing you advertising on their phone. And I think that's an allegation that's quite easy to disprove. All I need to do is share my phone with you here. And when we are within the Pi Network app, we can just go to our profile, and there at the bottom you see a switch that we can disable ads. And when we want to disable them, we also see a pop-up that informs us that the ad revenue is actually used to pay for servers and other things. You may not believe it, but since Pi has to store the data of millions of users, and I'm not talking about your personal data, I'm talking about who you invited, who you signed up with, how many mining sessions you have completed, and all that other stuff, they require servers and databases for that, and the advertising revenue is used to pay for those things. But it doesn't stop there. If you've watched my previous videos about Pi Network, you already know that in order for you to use your Pi coins during phase 3, you'll also have to complete a KYC verification, so to prove that you are a unique human being, to prevent people from having multiple accounts and basically scamming the system. And you're also likely aware of the fact that Pi uses a third-party service called Yoti for that verification process at the moment. Now there are also going to be alternative methods for the KYC verification, but for now Yoti is the only option. And if we take a look at the Yoti website, and there we go to business and identity verification, we can see once we scroll down a little that Yoti basically charges £1 per verification, meaning that in order to verify 100,000 users in Pi Network actually has to pay £100,000. Now maybe Pi Network negotiated with Yoti and maybe they have a different pricing, but you can see that the KYC verification process is actually quite expensive, and the advertising revenue is also used to pay for that. If you don't believe that, then just consider the fact that since I signed up in August 2020, Pi Network provided 100,000 KYC verification slots, and again, those have to be paid. Yoti does not offer them for free because Yoti is a third party and not part of Pi Network. So as you can see, it's highly unlikely that the Pi core team actually enriches themselves on the advertising revenue, considering the expenses they have to cover with that revenue. And I think with that we can put the first allegation to rest, that Pi would just be a scam to get you to watch the ads and for them to make money, because again, in a summary, you can disable the ads if you don't like them for whatever reason and don't want to support the project in that way. And if you have the ads running, there's enough proof that the Pi core team uses that revenue to actually pay for the Pi infrastructure. Now with that out of the way, let's take a look at the second allegation, that Pi Network would just be a fancy scam to collect and sell your personal data. And there are a couple of reasons why I don't believe that for a second. Let's start with the most obvious reason, and that is the KYC process. For that, I've opened up the Yoti app here, and as you can see at the bottom of the application, it points out that your data is only being stored encrypted. It means when you upload your ID in Yoti, they only store that information encrypted, so Pi Network and even Yoti itself doesn't have access to the details of that ID anymore once it's confirmed. And when you proceed in Pi Network with your KYC verification, all that happens is the Pi Network application connects to Yoti and asks if the user is verified or not. So if there is a verified ID, and basically if you confirmed your identity in Yoti by providing a government issued ID that proves your identity. So Pi Network never gets access to that personal information, so to your passport number and all that stuff. Now, if you think about it, if Pi Network was designed to be an elaborate scam to collect your personal information, they would have not introduced a third-party application for KYC where they have to pay for verification, but they would have simply added an in-app process for you to upload your ID and provide additional information. So I think with all of that considered, it becomes quite clear that Pi Network is definitely not a scam. We don't know yet if the currency will succeed, but it's very likely that we'll see phase 3 during 2021, which means at that point the currency will actually have a value and most likely you'll be able to trade it on popular exchanges. So if you don't have a Pi Network account yet, now is the time to jump on the train and still get as many free coins as you can before that actually happens. As always, if you have any questions whatsoever, please leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on updates regarding Pi Network and other promising cryptocurrency projects. And most of all, thanks for watching this video till the end. See you in one of my other videos. Till then, bye bye.